the Three Brothers film. What do you think of the storyline?
I think it's really good.
Good.
No, I really like
was
it.
informative.
Shush. I think it's really eerie because, like, as I was discussing with you on the phone the other day, because you're having problems with the character
I've
itself.
always got problems.
Yeah, you've always got problems. No problem. Death is one.
Literally, it literally is. Yeah.
What was really good was like how we discussed, even though it's a weird subject to talk about, but like no one knows what death looks like. Like you can't go to someone and be like, what was death like? What did death look like? You can't go to someone and be like, oh, I've heard people that have like died for like 7 minutes and come back to life.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, they say, but at the same time it's like you can't just go up to them and be like, oh, what did death feel like? What is death? Like,
no one will know until the end of time.
yeah, and that's why I think it's really clever how the character has been perceived, because it's like these people, like the audience, will be looking and waiting for this character to show, and then they won't see this character. Or they might see the character, you never know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's that representation that no one knows what death looks like. Do you understand where I'm coming from? No one knows.
I think it's just because when I first ever read it, like it doesn't ever really describe him. So in that sense, it was kind of it's like the darkest story really out of all of them.
I
Definitely.
think in conjunction with that, you've got the dynamic of the three brothers.
Yes.
Each one has a different kind of tinge to their personality. So you've got one that's obsessed with power, one that's obsessed with love and having their lost love back. One that what's the other one? Humble, yeah. So you've got the dynamic with that alongside a mysterious being pursuing them, and I think it's very unique in a way of storytelling because it's not got a definition of like what death looks like, as we were saying. It's not like a typical Grim Reaper.
So do you think?
Scythe, it's interpretation.
Do you think when it comes to filming, that will be the one scene that people will watch and hopefully be like, well, that is actually really nice?
Yeah, that'll be
really,
because obviously reading the script like you've elaborated on the story, it's very effective how death doesn't answer, because death literally you can't like ask someone who's died, oh, what was that like then?
Yeah.
It's
So
the
it's like
whole-
death not answering.
The way it's written as well is really creepy. Like the way it's written. I said to Scott, I don't know if Scott touched this, but it reminds me of Dementors because it goes cold.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, it's like a gigantic
Death
Dementor.
would have a cold atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's why when someone dies,
It's a touchy subject to talk about, but at the same time, it's like one of those things that you have to go into those kind of subjects if you're going to try and perceive. But it's true that is I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
it's a really good story because it teaches adults as well as kids, because obviously the book it's fairy tales based in the wizarding world, but I think it teaches us all a lesson of throughout your life, don't wish for things to happen on the spot, because you can. I think you just have to live your life every day, because obviously at any point something could happen, which obviously you see in this film it does happen. And I think it, like, working on the script as well as the actual visuals for it was really interesting as well, because I can really like, you can at least relate to one of the characters, I think, in some aspects. So if you had to relate to one of these characters, what one would you relate to and why?
I think we're all secretly power. We're all secretly that one.
Yeah.
We're all secretly a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Not we seek a higher power than what we've got at the moment.
Well, yeah, because we always want to do the best we can. If you've got ambition, you want to be the best you can. You want to do the best you can. It's kind of like Antioch. He wants to be the most powerful. But I think also as well, what I tend to relate as well with the one who's lost the loved one, who's Cadmus, because death affects everyone. Everyone's lost them when they've loved and wants them back, but unfortunately can't. So I think that's why it's such a good story to make into a film, because everyone's had an experience with someone who's passed away, and I think the more emotion you invest in it, the more emotion you'll get out of the audience, because they can all connect with it, and
They all find some sort of their own life in the story.
yeah.
I think a little bit of everyone. I know it's like pick and choose, but like everyone wants that little bit of power.
Yeah.
To be able to do stuff. Like, it's not even power as in I want to be the best. It's not even power like I want to just have power. It's the whole, if you had the power to do the best you can.
You want to do the best
Yeah.
yourself, don't you?
But then at the same time, I like your idea of the fact that we've all lost someone, because I'd love it to be able to talk to my relatives that aren't here anymore.
But then, like you see with Cadmus's character, when that does happen,
yeah.
you really want to be with that person again. So I think it's good and it's bad, because it's like once they're gone, that's it. and it's a very deep thing to sort of penetrate, to kind of get across to, like I said,
It's
kids
like-
are like reading these stories, like it's a very deep subject.
It's
you
like
know.
with a note, you notice his character, like
Mm.
if you can make sure that your family keeps going, like, and no, like, keeps going, and like you want to do the best, like, 'cause if I had the power to like help my brother in any way, it reminds me right of my brother. But if I had, like, if he was, you know what I mean, like, I'd still have, if I had that power just to make sure that he gets through life and he does the best he can, he gets where he wants to be, then I'd have that. You know what I mean?
And I
It's just a little bit
think
like that.
The one thing that is scary to think about is no matter if you ever did have the cloak of invisibility, one day death will catch up to you. You can't ever escape him because he will come after you. Which is why I think this is a very dark film.
It's definitely dark in comparison to the other films in that book.
I like dark
yes.
though.
Definitely.
I find dark more interesting. Can't be doing all that happy clappy
I
stuff.
think it'll be interesting to see because we've worked so hard from
Already
like
to this point, yeah.
already to this point, and we haven't even started filming yet. Like,
Hopefully it'll pay off.
hopefully it'll pay off, and I think I can speak for everyone when we're looking forward to see our hard work pay off.
Oh, I can't wait.
Like, I can't wait to see that being paid off.
Also, with the fact that I love it's dark, it works well with my editing dissertation of like manipulating narrative and audience. It's like with my editing, I kind of feel like I've got the power to make certain emotions out of the audience. I'm just be there editing like.
You can make that into a musical.
Especially with my subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
My subjective, and that's also another thing. I'm going to be putting the audience into the perspective of death, which will be really, really weird. Yeah, and also some of the other characters, just to see how they react. You know, so it'd be a very interesting watch, I think.
In terms of being creative, like in terms of my own dissertation, I think it's just definitely made me explore different aspects, like getting creative when like for example, one of our locations, we can't go into a house because it's unsafe to go in, but like I said with Scott, because we're struggling to get a room for this house, my creative aspects were pushed then when I said, oh, instead of us we can film the outside of the house and then change and make it like so it's two different locations but it becomes one. And I think because we're so invested in the film and because we love the Harry Potter series, like we want to sort of do it justice. Like one of the actors was like, you seem really passionate about J.K. Rowling's stuff, and that's why it's like, yeah, because we love the films, we love
We
the
can relate
books.
and we give it everything we've got, really.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's definitely, in terms of our dissertations, it's definitely allowed us to explore and sort of like expand, but also then like narrow in on a certain aspect of the film. Like we've been able to expand and explore like our own work, but at the same time I think we've also narrowed down into like different little bits and pieces throughout the project.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, we look forward to watching the film when it's finished.
Hope you watch it.
Watch it,
Watch
and
it.
we will
It'll
catch
be
up
out.
with you all very soon.
Watch it or we'll kill you.
Okay.
Death will come for you.
That is